students, welcome to class. We're outside today. We're going to be talking about a not so great subject, and it's called Vystopia. Vystopia is the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world. Are you experiencing Vystopia? I am. It's not easy. You see, for those of you who don't understand, Vystopia is this feeling that we have. It's going through life knowing about the suffering that's going on right this minute. And it's hard for us as animal rights activists to ignore it. We know that right now, pigs are being shoved into gas chambers and are begging for their lives, living in Holocaust-like conditions. And just knowing that makes it really difficult to live every day and just find some joy. But it's something we must strive to do. Somehow we have to detach in order to be able to help these animals. Because I know the feeling. It's like some days you just want to stay in bed and just pull the covers over your head and just go back to your old life before you knew what was going on. But just like all of you listening right now you know. If you thought that the Holocaust was wrong, then you need to help us and join us, because it's still going on right now for the animals. Chickens, cows, pigs, the most vulnerable animals, turkeys, lambs, all being murdered for no reason when people can just eat plants. Vystopia is the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world. It's knowing that as much as we try to save these animals, that our own families are still eating them, our own friends, our own neighbors. Now, granted, many people in my own family are vegan, which is awesome. But not all of my friends became vegan, and that was hard. And sometimes we actually have to move on and find new friends. And that's what you can do. You can find new friends in the vegan community. That's one thing that can help you. I urge people suffering from Vystopia to join vegan Facebook groups. It really helps. If you have a question or you feel sad, you can type there and people will understand what you're going through. I also want to encourage you guys to buy the book Vystopia by Claire Mann, the psychologist who came up with the term. Vystopia, the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world, by Claire Mann. Get it. It'll help you to understand what you're going through and give you a few strategies and tips to help you get through this. The best thing that you can do is keep fighting for the animals. Just in doing that, you will be able to express through direct action what you need to feel like you're helping, instead of just curling up in a ball and thinking there's nothing I can do. There is so much that you can do. To those of you who are new here today, I want to say Happy Vegan Declaration Day. If this is your day, if this is the day that you get your clicks. You know, I have this theory, it takes 100 clicks until you become vegan. And what that means is that you get the message. This might just be one click on your journey. And then later on you might meet somebody else who has another shirt. Maybe it won't say this. Maybe it'll say something else, or you'll see a bumper sticker, or you'll see the word vegan on some food, or you'll bump into another vegan somewhere. And when you do that, these are all these different clicks that remind you. And also the important documentaries. If you haven't yet watched Dominion Movement, go and check that out. If you're a kid, it's probably not a good idea to watch it. Ask your parents to watch it, because it's quite graphic. But it's important that you know the information. If you're a kid, I encourage you to go to a website called howdoigovegan.com. There you can read articles about all of the reasons why you should. And otherwise, you should continue your education if you're older. You should watch Dominion Movement. You should also watch Earthlings, Cowspiracy, and Seaspiracy. These are important documentaries so that you know what's going on. Veganism is a moral imperative. It's an absolute moral baseline. It is the least we can do, is to become vegan animal rights activists. So that means, think of it this way. Let's say you know that your neighbor is hurting an animal, like a dog or a cat. It's not just good enough that you yourself are not hurting that animal. You must intervene. You must say, stop it. If you see somebody kicking a cat or a dog, you must It's your duty on this earth to contribute to ending the suffering. That's what being an animal rights activist is. You stop creating the suffering yourself by no longer eating dairy, no longer eating animals, and no longer eating eggs. It's also important that you go to a website called egg-truth.com, egg-truth.com. That's where you'll find out why you shouldn't be eating eggs and how terrible eggs are in the cycle of violence that goes on. You know, most people really don't know what happens. In the industries, baby boy chicks go along a conveyor belt, and when people pick them up and see if they're a boy, they put them in this giant blender and turn on the button and they are murdered, cut into pieces. Why? Because they'll never be able to lay eggs. When I first heard about that, I thought, it's not possible. It's just not possible. How could our society do this? It must not really be happening. And just like you, I just thought, well, it must be just certain countries or just maybe some crazy place, I don't know. And then I realized it happens everywhere. And then I found out about the dairy industry. I had no idea that these mothers were raped, that they were forced to have babies, that somebody took their arm and pushed sperm inside of them. And then when their babies are born, that they are removed and murdered just because they're boys and they'll never be able to have milk. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine hurting a baby cow. Could you do it, honestly? My dog is similar in size to a baby cow. Imagine taking an animal by the legs and hanging them upside down. And they're just like, what are you doing to me? Why are you hurting me? And then you slit their throat. And the blood comes out. And they're just looking at you like, why? And your answer is going to be because I want veal? I want to eat you? It's messed up beyond comprehension. And the good news is that you can be vegan. Anybody at any stage of development. Babies are born vegan. We're all born vegan. We never wanted to hurt animals. So all we need to do is go back to our roots. Right? If babies can be vegan, according to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, then new kids can be vegan, and pregnant mothers and lactating mothers, parents, grandparents. If we can be vegan, why aren't we vegan? It's mind-boggling. Our society has brainwashed us into thinking that we need milk, and we don't. Why would we want to drink milk from another species when you think about it? Isn't it crazy? I mean, would you ever think of going up to your dog if your dog had puppies and just drinking your dog's milk? It's messed up. Of course not. Would you drink cat's milk? So why do you drink cow's milk? Habit. You've been lied to by these industries. You see, they want to sell you their product. They just want to make money. It's wrong on every level. You don't need to eat meat at all. You can just put veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds into your shopping cart. Because peace begins on your plate. So just open up your heart and be vegan. Those of you who are suffering from vystopia, the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world, I totally understand. I feel with you. I know what it's like to drive by a McDonald's and see the arches and instantly get triggered because you know how the cows suffered, how the pigs suffered, how the chickens suffered. Same when I drive by a Kentucky Fried Chicken or any billboard. It's the same thing when I walk into the cafeteria at work and I see dead animals everywhere. It's excruciating. And then you see people that you love eating these animals, or colleagues who are normally good people. You know, they talk about how they love their dogs or their cats, and yet they contribute to this. And when you try to tell them, they are like blank-faced, like almost zombie-like. Just like I used to be too, I guess. But we can change. We can be vegan. And we can get over this vystopia if we stick together and help one another. Join Facebook groups, find other people like you, people who are vegan, who understand how it hurts, and talk to each other. Talk to me if you want to. Unfortunately, because it's such a terrible world that we live in, when kids communicate to me and send me messages on Instagram, I can't really answer them. I want to. But people have spread lies about me and said that I am, that it's wrong to communicate with kids. But I'm a teacher and I'm a nurse, and I communicated with my patients all the time. And I see nothing wrong with it if I'm trying to help them. And I tell them to talk to their parents, and I try to help them. And I know that I have saved some people's lives who were devastated about what they were going through. But I have to make some boundaries and really kind of keep myself a little bit distant from these teenagers who are reaching out to me, or kids, and just tell them, look, you got to go talk to a professional that you trust. But the reality is, many therapists don't understand veganism. They don't even know what the word vystopia means. They've never heard of it. They haven't been trained. And so if you try to tell them, I'm suffering from vystopia, they'll say, what's that? And you say, it's the anguish of living vegan in a non-vegan world. And they'll say, well, what does that mean? And then you say to the therapist, well, you see, you, the therapist, I know what you're going to eat tonight. You're going to stop by the grocery store on your way home, and you're going to pay for the death of innocent whatever animal it is. And the therapist is going to immediately be triggered, because they're going to be like, well, wait, why is my patient attacking me? And this is what I've had teenagers tell me. They said they tried to talk to a therapist, but it doesn't work. Or they tried to talk to a teacher and it doesn't work, because people just look at them like, well, I don't get it. Because you see, these people are the criminals. They're the ones still paying for this. And doctors really don't understand either. They've also not been educated yet. They learn so little at school. First of all, about nutrition, but second of all, they don't even know what vystopia means. I know my doctor didn't know. So now you know. Vystopia is the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world. It's the pain that people suffer who are vegan, because they know all about the suffering and they feel helpless. And the most difficult thing for teenagers is when they know the truth and they want to come out as vegan to their families. They come out of the closet and say, Mom and Dad, I've realized that I was born vegan and I want to remain vegan. I want to go back to my roots. I never want to pay for animals to suffer. And the parents are like, what? And the parents think it's a phase. But it's not a phase. It's real. It's a change of heart that's permanent when you understand what happens to the animals. You never want to hurt them again. You don't want them to suffer. Then, unfortunately, you suffer because people around you aren't becoming vegan. If you have a teenager, if you happen to be a parent, you have a teenager who comes out as vegan and says, Mom and Dad, I want to be vegan, your responsibility is to say to them, that's amazing. What a great kid you are. I'm so proud of you. Let's become vegan as a family. That's what you can do. Yeah. Stop bringing death into your home. That hurts your child. They don't want to see dead fish or dead chickens or pigs or cows. Go and buy vegan foods together. Google healthy vegan recipes. If you don't have a lot of money, you can go to What Broke Vegans Eat. It's a great group. They share all kinds of recipes there. Tell them Miss Katie sent you. Tell them that vegan teacher told me to come to this group. What Broke Vegans Eat. Find friends, hang out together. You can help to cope with your own vystopia by just breathing deeply, knowing that you're doing the best thing for the animals, and by doing things like helping in my comment section. Just by consistently educating others, you feel like you're contributing to helping the most innocent among us. I want to thank you for listening today. Now you've learned what vystopia is, the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world. And now you, people who are not yet vegan, you can hopefully understand what vegans go through, and you can help them. You can avoid putting dead animals in front of them. You can say to them, you know what? I don't want to be vegan phobic. I want to be vegan fantastic. I want to help you. So somebody who's vegan fantastic is somebody who is not yet vegan, but who is a vegan supporter. So if you are a parent and your kid comes out of the closet as vegan, don't be mean to them. Don't be cruel. Don't make jokes. Give your child a huge hug and tell them you're so proud of them and that you want to be a vegan fantastic parent, which hopefully means that you will also be vegan along with your child. Watch the important documentaries. Let me tell you again what they are. Dominion Movement. How you get there is you go to watchdominion.com. And the next one is Earthlings. That was made before Dominion Movement. Go and watch that. You can also watch Cowspiracy, where you learn about the dairy industry. And you can watch Seaspiracy, where you find out what happens inside of our oceans and how we're all connected in this system of this interdependent web. And what happens in the oceans is not separate from us. Watch Seaspiracy. Join us and be vegan. Coming up on the screen are going to be a bunch of different videos. Click on them. Be curious. Click on them and say to yourself, I haven't seen this one yet. Maybe I'll go and watch that. I also want to thank all of my Patreons who are helping to support me by giving me just a tiny donation, $3 a month. That helps to sustain me so that I can do this important work and help me buy this, what do you call it, this handle thing that's holding the phone. Not a tripod, but a selfie stick. Thank you. So I will let you check out the videos. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to this channel, and there's a notification bell. Press that. If you have questions, I'm often there during the premieres of the videos, so you can just type something there. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what your journey is like. If you need to find friends, you can sometimes find them in the comment section. You can say, hey, I'm vegan, I don't have any friends. Who wants to be friends? There's vegans of all ages in there. If you are vegan and you think you'd like to be a moderator to help educate people in my comment section, by all means, feel free to go ahead and just copy and paste some of the comments that I put in there, which give the facts. You only have 200 characters to write in the comment section, each one, so you can only write maybe 1 or 2 sentences. But slowly we are educating people. We're trying to give them the clicks. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. You have to get the message through your head. You have to understand the facts. You have to understand by watching the important documentaries. Don't forget to also watch Dairy is Scary. And then you also have to get it into your heart to understand about the animals and what they're going through. Once you get it into your heart and you realize, oh my God, that's happening, that's terrible, I don't want to pay for that anymore, then you're on your way. Happy Vegan Declaration Day to everybody who's new and decided they want to be vegan. I'm so proud of you. Have a great day.